This
There we go.
conference will now be recorded.
All right, it is now recorded too for those that can't join us, because this will be the most important chat I ever do. That's why I made sure that Gianni opened it up to any sports bettor that wants to come in and actually learn how to be in that 1%. That's what's going to happen in this chat right here. And with that said, let me get this out of the way so we could move forward. Let's see. How do you spell that broad's name again? Jacqueline Amorim minus, let's see, did we move that number? Has the number moved? Where's the Amorim line? All right, it's still sitting there pretty for us. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Good. Anyone that wants to piggyback, you could get the pretty much the exact same numbers I got, 240 and 250. So I'll give them 245 as their average. That's fair. I'm very fair. Boom. Send it to one more of my movers so he could get down too, since it's still there. And then we will start. Again, guys, you're going to have to get used to this during football especially, but it will be worth it, because you will be getting like this actionable information from every one of my sources that'll be sending as I'm working, because to them it's just a normal day. They don't know I'm doing this chat. It's a Saturday morning to them. All right. All right, we got a lot to cover, and I also have a lot of actionable information for you guys for today, and obviously for football week 1, some futures. I'm going to share all of that. You'll get everything. But first and foremost, like we always do, before we go forward, we got to look back, because your history is going to give you a great indication of what your future is going to be like. Because what you do today is going to be the product of your future right now. Like where you are today is the result of what you did years ago, not what you did today or what you did yesterday. It's what you did last week. It's what you did last month. It's what you did last year. That's why you're where you are in the present. As a chess player, I like to look ahead. And as a trader, I've learned to look ahead. But to do that, you got to make sure that behind you is legit. Otherwise, you're fooling yourself. And the only way to do that is by documenting long-term results, statistically significant results. And what does that mean? At least 1,000 bets minimum. Betting syndicates want 2,000. In fact, the simple math goes, if you are profitable over 2,000 bets, the betting syndicate believes that they have a 6 out of 10 chance you will be profitable over your next 2,000 bets. And they are willing to free roll you, bankroll you, or work with you. That's how it works. And that's the reason 99% of sports handicappers that sell picks don't show the last 2,000 bets they placed. Because again, 99 out of 100 are going to show negative lifetime results, negative over 2,000 bets, negative even over 1,000 bets. Very few will be positive after 1,000 bets. After 10, 20, 50, 100, you can't differentiate between plus CV or coin flip, random. That's factual. I told you, I will tell you the difference between my opinion and what's fact. We all have opinions, and that's fair, and we can disagree on them. But facts, we can't disagree. We're going to have to make sure that what's factual, we believe in this room. That's the only way we're all going to profit. So the facts are simple. If you are able to profit long term, your future is bright. It's on you to manage risk correctly and make sure you profit from that ability. It doesn't guarantee it. It's on you. First, like we do, let's go backwards. And nothing more important than this chat because I lost. In fact, I've gotten crushed, I think, over the last 2 weeks. But first, let's just get, I swear to you, over the last 5 days, I haven't even looked at the leaderboard or results. I bet the plays I release. I could tell by the accounts how I'm doing. I don't need to see my streaks. I don't need, because I'm not marketing them. I don't need to see what am I up in MLB so I could tweet it and try to sell a package. What am I up in this so I could tweet it, or in my 4% plays, my 3% plays, my 5% plays, my 4% MLB, or my, I don't need to sell picks. So I don't have to look at the leaderboard until here in this chat to you guys that I'm accountable to. And I love having to come in and face you because I can tell you, so many of you, this has happened to you. You're following different cappers. You see a guy on a hot streak. You, even though he doesn't show you his last 500,000 bets, you still trust he offers value. You buy a month subscription. What happens? Within the first 1 or 2 weeks, it's nothing but downhill. There's no recourse. You have to ride it out, hope he turns it around the last 2 weeks, but there's no explanation. There's no one accountable. He got the money. It's now the next hot streak. He's going to push that hot streak again. I can't do that. That's why I love this subscription. That's why I made sure, even though we could have took this week off, I'm so glad we didn't, because this is where it's important. Listen, when we're winning, any mistake you make isn't going to cost you. In fact, you may even profit from mistakes, and that becomes a problem because you forget that you're making mistakes, and eventually mistakes cost you. So when you're winning, again, you don't need my advice. All you need is for me to try to convince you to stay disciplined, because this isn't how easy it's always going to be. But again, like I said, you can't really fuck up when you're winning. But when you're losing, that's when you can really fuck shit up. And that's where you find out whether you're built for this or not. If I have long-term negative results, then I can't say what I'm about to say. But because my long-term results, which are documented, 2023, 2022, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, and 2015. 8 years. I've had one losing year, and that was last year because of the last 2 months of the season. Until those last 2 months of the season, I was top 3 or 5. And I hate that happened, but it was the best education for me because I will profit from it moving forward. I've corrected instead of repeating. That will never happen to me again. And that's why this subscription is here. For when we have that cold streak, I have to be accountable. I am able to do this instead of what happened last season. So we said, forget the last 3 days because that's such a small sample size. It would be foolish for me even to pay attention to it. Let's look at the last 7 days. I've gotten absolutely crushed. I'm 32 and 42, so that's 10 bets under 500, negative 20% ROI for minus 45 units, minus 45 units in 7 days. Now let's put that in perspective because we bet 0.25. So that's a quarter of 45 units you should be down. What is that? 11 positions you should be down over the last 7 days. That's losing about 1.5 bets per day. Again, not good. But like I say, when in doubt, you have to zoom out. And I know it's been a rough month, not what we've been accustomed to. In fact, we've lost a lot of what we've gained because we shot up so quickly. You got to remember, when we were at plus 310 units, 320 units even, 320 units, you could have combined the number 2 guy, number 3 guy, number 4 guy, and number 5 guy's results, and I don't think they barely added up to my units. That tells you that that is not sustainable. Like my goal is to win as much as possible. And sure, I want to get to 400 and 500, but I also know I'm not going up in a straight line. We'll get there just like we got there long over the whole sample size, but in a small period of time, you can't think deterministically, which is why when asked over and over again, how many times are you trying to roll over your bankroll? How many times do you think we're going to roll over our bankroll in 1 year? And I kept saying, you can't approach it with that. You have to be willing to take what the market gives you. And as I've shown you, 7 out of 8 years, this is what it's given me. And if you manage risk, it'll give the same to you. So over the last 30 days, even uglier. The ROI is lower, minus 11% ROI, 104 and 119. So 15 bets below 100, below 50%, excuse me, over the last 30 days. So 104 winners, 119 losers. That's 15 positions below. But you add in the VIG and the units, and it's minus 74. Now, let's put a quarter of that like we do, because we bet 0.25 so we don't get buried, so we can overcome short-term negative variance. 0.25 of 74 is what? 17, 18 units is what we're down over the 30 days. So about losing a position every 2 days if you manage risk correctly. Again, nothing to be proud of at all. In fact, I hate losing. And the disconnect is you're always as confident, for me at least, whether I'm winning or losing, I feel just as confident with the next bet. Like, I don't change my systems. I'm a robotic trader. I trade the same 5 factors. That's it. There's 5 signals I look for. When the boxes check off, I bet them. Just like a card counter. There's a right move. It's not on intuition. It's not on gut. It's not whether you're running hot or cold. It's simply math. Whatever it says you should do, that's what you do. And that's what I do day in and day out, which is why let's look at game 300. Let's look at the year. Where are we for the year? We take a step back, and for 2023, and there's one ungraded, which is the Alves from last night. So in 2023, through 7 months, no, 8 now, completely 7 months and 12 days of August, we've placed a little over 2,000 bets. So we have statistical significance. That's the math. We're plus 213 units, 0.49. Let's check. Hold, give me a second. Let's do the math. All right, Johnny, stop texting me. Everything's fine. See, I'm running solo today. This is that important. So let's do it. 213. Forget the 0.49. We'll just say we'll tip the waitress to 0.49. So 210 units times, remember what we've been basing it on, a $10,000 bankroll. $10,000 bankroll, you're betting $25 to 125. You're betting 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, but you're going 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. With a $10,000 bankroll, you'll never bet more than 125. You'll bet between 25 and 125. Your average bet size will be between 75 and 100. So 210 units times 25. You're up $5,250 on that $10,000 bankroll since January 1st. 50% return on your capital since the first of the year. If you expect more, honestly, leave the room right now. I can't help you. Like, go find someone that can do that, and I swear to God, I will pay them. I'll give them 6 figures a year to work for me. I promise you. If they have that documented, over 2,000 bets, I will give them 6 figures to work for me. That's how I know how difficult it is to maintain that. And we're near a 4% ROI. That's going with this negative stretch. The reason I'm bringing this up is if you're not unable to profit with these results, you have to take a step back and reevaluate your own thesis. Somewhere there's a disconnect. Somewhere your thesis is wrong. And if you don't correct it, you're just going to continue to lose money, whether you use me as a source, yourself as a source, or search around for different sources. The problem isn't the picks, because obviously look what the picks have produced. The problem is the discipline in bankroll management. Now, you're going to say, wait, Ace, I haven't been with you since January 1st. I've only been here the last 30 days where you sucked, where you're down to 75 units. But wait a minute, that's 0.25 of 75. That's less than 20. That's less than 20 down. If you can't have the discipline to be down 20 positions and know you have 5, 6, 7 months ahead of you, and all you're going to do is continue betting correctly and win that back and end up ahead, you're not cut out for this. Like, if you feel like you just have to win every week, you're not cut out for this. If over the last 7 days you started making mistakes, like chasing, like you see what I did the last week, I increased volume. I did that on purpose because we need to find out right now who's cut out for this. Because I don't care if it's me and one other person doing this. I told you from the beginning, I know a handful of people in here that have a big bankroll, and I owe it to them to give them the top 1% of service that I can give them, where they're going to win and they're going to get the sharpest information for every freaking market. Because again, this is going to happen again. I promise you, whether I end this year up 500 units, this will happen. It'll happen next year. It'll happen the year after that. It'll happen the year after that. Here is where, more than times than not, most paid cappers end up burying themselves and their subscribers. And here's why. Because if you noticed over the last 7 days, what have I done? I've increased volume, but I haven't increased bet size. In fact, I've decreased bet size. We've been betting nothing but 3% plays. No 5% of small limited 4% plays. We're going 3%. Now, as a paid capper, that's a death sentence. You can't sell 3% plays. You can't promote 3% plays. You can't market 3% plays. So if I need to sell picks during this cold streak, I need to sell 5% play. I need to promote 4% plays. That's the absolute worst time to do that. Not only, obviously, is the market not treating you well, but you have to be emotional. I've done this 30 years, and I still get emotional when I lose. And I try to keep myself in check because that's when you make the most mistakes. And I always say, since day one, this has not changed. I lose money when I make mistakes. There's no other reason I lose money. The market never to blame. The bookmakers are never to blame. My players are never to blame. Nobody. The only time I ever lose money is when I make a mistake. When I overbet, when I chase, when I revenge bet, all the stupid things that we know that we do. Again, the reason I'm talking this much about this topic and wanting the spotlight that I'm down 75 units over the last 30 days. Now you know why. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. Because if we were betting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, you'd be broke. What would I be telling you right now? Go borrow some money so we could keep betting? Go sell your shit so you could have a bankroll and we could win it back? Or you didn't even have the money this last week to try to get it back. I'm sending 8 plays instead of 3. You don't know what to bet on what. If that happened to you, you need to take a step back and reevaluate your thesis. Again, I love you. I want to help you beat the books. I don't want you to lose money. I don't want to cost you a penny. And I know I don't have to cost you nothing. What you will win will pay for your subscription and you will make profit. That's been proven. It's proven up till today. But if you mismanage your funds, nothing I send out will help you. You could try to find the next hot streak. I'm sure there's someone today that on Saturday that's got a couple. I'm sure go to the site right now. There's someone with a hot streak that's got a 5% play, and I hope they win for you. I really do. I swear I hope they do. Tell me how that's done for you in the past. How much money have you beaten the books for? What's your lifetime earnings with that strategy? Again, let's be realistic. Let me bring something up real quick. The benchmark is the S&P 500. That's what we're told. That if we just invest in the S&P 500, which is the total market, and we, instead of time in the market, we have time in the market, and we let the beautiful law of compounding interest make us wealthy, right? That's what they say, financial planners. What's the S&P 500 return every year? Do you have any idea? Over the last decade, over the last 20 years, what do you think you could expect from it? 6, 7, 8, 9% average a year. So on that $10,000, what are you going to make? 900 bucks. Let's say it's 10%, which it isn't. But let's say you average 10% over the last decade. On $10,000, that means you're making $1,000 at the end of the year on that 10 grand. And it's the best instrument, the most worthy financial instrument we have, right?
Can you say that again?
Where's all that coming from? Okay. Anyway,
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
for the love of God, hold on. I'm like, there's one of those like someone's hearing the voice and answering my questions. Oh, I like that you guys are writing things. See, I'm not even looking yet because I'm just focusing on what I have to share here. Because like I said, this is the most important chat I will ever do. The people that actually get this, whether today, because you may not be in financial position to do it right, but if you grasp this concept, and when you are ready to beat this market, you approach it in this way, you have a shot. And what I mean by that is bet size, bet size, bet size. If you were chasing this last week, you got buried. If you were chasing the last 2 weeks, you got buried. Why would you chase? Why chase? Again, if you're in here because your goal is to win long term, our goals are aligned. And I warn you that to do that, we have to manage risk. The information's there. We'll win more than we lose. We'll be top 2 or 3 in every major market. And at the end of the year, we'll be top 2 or 3 in profit, and you'll make money. But if you don't manage risk correctly, that's never going to happen. Like that, I have to tell you the truth. I don't want to lie to you and make you think this is that easy. That's why less than 1% of sports bettors have positive lifetime earnings. That is why myself, as a runner on the Las Vegas Strip, at a time when people didn't even have laptops, where we were working off beepers. So imagine how ahead we were then on information, how much of an edge we had then on information, when the sports books didn't even move lines on their screen. They waited for a sharp bettor to bet into them, and then they knew to move the line. So what I'm telling you is, when I came here in 96, my edge was greater than it would ever be in the next till 2005. My edge in that 10 years was so huge. Like those edges will never be offered again in sports betting, the edges we had then. And yet I made no money. In fact, I lost multiple bankrolls. I went broke multiple times. That happened to me, where I didn't have money to pay my rent. Even though I was a runner, moving steam for the sharpest bettors at a time where they had their greatest edge. And I managed to lose money because I didn't manage my risk correctly. Dude, you want the holy grail? That's it. I know everyone's looking for what's the secret? What is the secret to winning as a sports bettor? What's the secret to winning as a card counter? What's the secret of being an advantage player? That's the holy grail. The winners have bankroll management. They have risk management. They've acquired that discipline that it takes to overcome these last 30 days. I'm going to go on the profit. We both know that. We both know that when December 31st rolls around, I'll be up more than 210 units because I'm going to put in work these next 5 months ahead. So of course I'm going to produce, obviously. But if you haven't managed risk correctly, it's meaningless to you. That you're not going to benefit from that. And that's not what I want, dude. That's why I promise you, I would rather you not sign up, not waste your money, not lose money because of my influence, then if you're not in a position and prepared to do this right. I wish I could do it for you. If I could do it for you, like if I just had a fund and that's it, you got to put your money in and you can't touch it for a year and I just work it. And at the end of the year, this is your profit. I take my cut and we walk our separate ways. You wouldn't have to worry about these last 30 days, right? You wouldn't have sweated. You wouldn't have been able to overbet. You wouldn't have been able to revenge bet. You wouldn't have cared. Your risk would have been managed correctly. Instead of being up 7,000 for the year, oh, well, you're up 5,000 for the year. Instead of being up 70% again on your capital, you're up 50% on your capital. Boo hoo. Oh, life's so terrible for me. That's what it would be. But if you lost your mind over the last 7 to 30 days, then please revisit your own thesis. Ask yourself and be honest, like, am I cut out for this? And it may be no, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Like everybody is different. Some people are savers. Some people are risk takers. Some people, it's what works for you. But if you are cut out for this and you do have that discipline, then this is negative variance. It's simple math. We shot up like a freaking rocket and nothing goes straight up without hitting some kind of correction. It's going to correct right now. Look at Tesla. Look at NVIDIA. Look at every major tech company. It's correcting. Why? Because over the last 6 months, since the first of the year, they shot up like rockets. There's going to be a correction. That's not normal. But if you got too happy and we're like, oh, dude, Ace don't lose. Holy shit. He's a fucking walking ATM. All right, I know he says stay disciplined, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75. Yeah, I know the calisthenics. I know the exercises, but fuck it. I'm going to do the whole 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. Because you know what? Yeah, I know I could be up. He's up 7,000 on 10. But imagine if I just doubled that. I'd be up, 1.5 bankrolls. Better yet, what if I 3x that? I'd be up 30 grand. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's not your reasonable brain thinking. That's your emotional brain thinking, convincing you of some dangling carrot that don't exist. Again, this doesn't benefit me, being honest. It doesn't benefit me as a pick seller. In this industry, what I'm telling you is a no-no. I need to be rainbows and butterflies, baby. Nothing but great shit ahead. In fact, I got a 5% play tonight that will not fucking lose. That's what I'm supposed to be telling you. Dude, I can't do it. I don't need to fucking do it no more. I want to work with people. I want to partner with people that are at my level. And it don't matter financially, because I'll tell you what, I know of at least one guy in here that is betting more than I am on the plays. And you know what I bet? I told you, I bet between 1 dime and 5 dimes. That's it. 1x to 5x. I'm not a crazy big bettor. You see, I bet anyone that logged in 5 minutes early saw what I bet. 4 dimes, I bet, right? Was a 4%, would be a 4% play. I'm not releasing it to subscribers only because it wasn't my play. And the sources who trust me that are in the industry know that I would never release a play to my subscribers, which they put in the work for and shared with me. I would never do that unless I also liked it. Like I liked RDA. They came in on RDA. What am I? Of course, I'm going to give it to my guys, just like they're probably giving it to their guys. Like that's different. But this Amarim broad, that was not my bet. And because it's someone that does have a subscription, I'm never going to do that. I would never send that out. But as you saw, I bet it like it was a 4% play, and you saw I bet 4 dimes. That's pretty much what I fire. But like I said, there's guys that bet more, guys that bet less, that part's irrelevant. That don't matter. Again, compare yourself to yourself, not to anyone else. We're all different. Are you better than you were last week, last month, last year, 5 years from now? Have you evolved? That's all that fucking matters, especially in this business. Now, let me go over real quick. It's only, okay, we got about 20 minutes before I have to give you the actionable info. So let me just cover these points real quick, because I promise you, this really matters to me and really matters. So I make sure that the people that do want to partner with me understand exactly what I'm asking them to do, how to do it. As you saw, when I hit the cold streak, I immediately decrease bet size. That goes first. Let's limit our risk. Let's limit our risk. We don't have to lower our volume. That would be the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Again, when you have an edge, you need to bet it. Just take a little less risk, because the edges don't come around often. So when you find them, you have to bet them. And there were those days, because of footballs here, where baseball was offering some edges, more edges than the weeks prior. And whether I'm up or down, I'm going to do what's right. I'm not worried that I'm losing, so I'm going to bet less plays. No, I'm going to spread out my risk, but I'm going to minimize the bet size. That's how I handle volatility. Not I step back and I lower the volume. Are you crazy? I work with plus EV guys. It's so hard to get plus EV plays. I need to bet them. It's the only way we're going to recover. But we're going to bet size a little less. And we have the bankroll because we've managed risk correctly till this time, to where we could cover 8, 11, 15, 25 bets, because they're all 3%. And at 3%, what does that mean? 0.75. That's not even 1%. A $10,000 bankroll is betting $75 on those freaking baseball games. Even if there's 20 of them, at $75, what do you got out there? 3 grand? Spread out? Again, whenever I put a card together, I factor in, what are we for the year? Where are we for the month? And where are my guys? Where should they be? And if they signed up in the last 7 days, signed up in the last 30 days, or been with me since January 1st, where should they be? And I make sure what I send out, you can afford, if you're following my structure. If you're not, of course, you're going to be like, shit, I only have this much and he's got that many plays. Which one should I take? Again, that's doing it incorrectly. Unless you're doing it by choice. Like, you know what? I only like these 5, so I'm only betting these 5. That's different. In fact, I urge you to do that. Handicap the handicapper. That's what I do. Or else I'd be giving you guys 600 freaking plays a day. Handicap the handicapper. But it's different if you're doing it because you're forced. Like, oh, wait, I only have $200 and I have to make 5 bets for 100 each. Uh-oh, what do I do? That's different. Now you're being forced to be selective. You're not doing it because it's the right move. You're doing it because you incorrectly managed risk. And now that's forcing you to do it, make even more mistakes. That's why I say, stop the hole. If you fucked up the last 7 days, last 30 days, that's okay. That's okay. But you got to stop. You got to cover the hole up now. Like, here's another opportunity right now to cover that hole up. Forget what you lost. It's counted as a education. I paid for mine. The doctor you go to paid for his. The attorney we use go to his. Everybody pays for their education. If this is really what you're going to profit from, sometimes you're going to have to learn the hard way. Hopefully, if you did fuck up, you correct instead of repeat. And the only way you do that is if you cover up that hole, kiss the money goodbye, and say that's never going to fucking happen to me again. Like I did when I lost the high 6 figures investing in equities and crypto and working with people where I should, like, not knowing what I was doing. And instead of chasing, learned my lesson, positioned myself correctly, partnered with the right groups, and life-changing shit happens. And I want that for everyone. So as you can see, that's why we limit bet size, but we don't have to limit our volume. Why? Because we manage risk correctly so we could afford to bet them. What else? Yes, we covered all that. All right. Yeah, we're pretty good. Let me look at some questions now, then we'll give some plays out. All right. If you're not over betting, you're never sweating. It really is the truth. And I know it stings, Ernesto. It fucking sucks. I hate to lose. And I swear, I hope that you really are following the way you're saying, because then I know you're fine. You're doing it right. I promise you, we will be fine. I wouldn't have created this if I didn't have the confidence to get us to the finish line. I am putting in the work, and all I did these last 4 days is run around, meet people that are here for that bet bash, the high level guys that are here, and make more connects, network more. That's all I've done, is make us even stronger. So you're going to be just fine. Stay with that proper bet size. You have a decent bankroll. You're betting a big amount compared to the average bettor. You'll do just fine. You're not sweating because you didn't overbet. That's why you're comfortable. And it stings. It sucks. No one likes to lose. I hate it, but I also accept it. I know it can't be avoided. It's kind of like being a fighter and not liking getting hit in the face. You know it's going to happen. Nobody likes it. You try to avoid it, but you're in a fight. You're probably going to get punched in the face a couple times. So it's something you prepare yourself for. It's the exact same thing, man. Like the same reason I keep saying 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. And I keep repeating it. Just like a fighter has to practice the same technique over and over and over till it becomes muscle memory, we have to do it as well as sports bettors to make sure we're on top of our game. And if we're over betting, we're not. If we're not managing our risk correctly, we're not on top of our game. So if you bet more than 1.25% on a 5% play, you're fucking up. If you're betting more than 1% of your bankroll on a 4% play, you're fucking up. I'm hoping that most of you are not. And from what I see, I think a lot of you are doing the right thing. Winning all the time. He said, I can't sustain this. It's not sustainable. Yes, thank you, James. Again, I didn't say that to make when I lose easy. Oh, see, I told you. Dude, I want it not to happen. In fact, I was hoping that we come down chopping. Like I hope that we didn't go straight up and then a quick fall. I was hoping, okay, you know what? Maybe we do 5, 6, 7 weeks, maybe even 2 months of chopping with a little down, like just like you see in the stocks, with lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And we get down to that 200 units that we probably should be around. We probably shouldn't be as high as we are. Again, I told you, I'm never as good as I look when I'm crushing. I'm never as bad as I look when I'm getting killed. And it's the same with all of us. It's the same with teams, with sports. You're never as good as your best game. You're never as bad as your worst game. I'm so glad, James. Okay, James is saying if I didn't preach the risk management so much, he'd probably have been wiped out this month. But he stands. He's not too worried. Thank you. That's exactly how you should feel. Not good about it. A little bit uneasy, because fuck, no one wants to. We're not doing this to break even, and we're not doing this to 5% and 10% gain at the end of the year. If that was the case, I swear I wouldn't want to waste your time or mine. I would simply say, lock right now, especially with interest rates up, you could get 4 or 5% in a CD, in a bond. There's different treasuries, T-bills that you could lock up right now, 5%. Lock up your 10 dimes. You're going to make your 5% in 12 months, and you ain't going to have to pay a subscription. So that's probably making like 6%, 7%, right? Good for you. But that's not the gains we're looking after. So believe me, you should feel exactly like you're feeling, like, okay, we took our hit. Okay, we corrected. Now, Ace, you need to start getting back on and grinding out some positive days. It's exactly how I'm feeling right now. Like, I need some positive days. Like yesterday, I need to hit 2 out of 3 in MMA. I need to come out ahead in baseball. Once those start piling up, we start chopping back up the other way. And I'm starting to see that because, again, we went up very quickly from 200 to 300. Dude, we went up from 200 to 300 in something like a matter of weeks. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I just wish it didn't come down as quickly. But again, you could never, ever tell how the correction's coming. That's why I say you don't time the market and you don't ask the market to trade on your timeline. You can't do that. Like, oh, I need it to happen this month. I need a good month. I need a good week, or I need this stock. All I need to do is get the $80 this month. I'm good. It's not going $80 this month. That much I could promise you. You can't make the market trade on your time. Rule number 1. So now let me get you some actionable information. Let me go ask. Let me answer another question or two, and then I'll get you the actionable shit too. Okay, should I take them now that they're plus 3.5? I like the Jets. In fact, if it wasn't preseason, because we have a 3% play, I would have sent out on 1% on Jets, but I would buy the half point at +4. There's a lot when football starts and we get into the weeks. I'll show you why the format is good up to -120. But yeah, as long as you're not paying more than -120, take it to 4. Take it to 4. You're getting the best of it as far as what you're paying for the half point. You should be charged more than that. When that's the case, I always take it. If I know that I could buy in this spot, they should be charging me 23 cents. They're only charging me 20 cents. I'll always do it. And that's exactly where you stand by taking the plus on the Jets. As you notice, I did with Buffalo this morning. Because anyway, with Buffalo, we could have even got it at -115. I did it at -120 just for guys that had -110. But the truth was Buffalo was plus 3.5 at -105 at pretty much 7 out of 10 books. So it even was cheaper to buy the half point on them. And from 3.5 to 4, yeah, that's what you do. How much should we limit? Cut down to half bankroll? No. Why? No, where we stand right now, regardless when you started, if you bet sized correctly, there's no reason to cut the bets. Again, if you just started even exactly 30 days ago and you bet size correctly, it's down 15, 16 positions or 3% for plays. Like, you shouldn't have to yet revisit it. Like, I lost half my bankroll or I increased half my bankroll. Should I revisit it? If you mismanage risk, then you got to start with your bankroll and try to do it again from the beginning. Like, this is what I have now, and 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25 of that, cover up that hole. But if you've been doing it the right way from the beginning, you had 10,000, you were betting 25 to 125. The positions that were down, there's not that need yet to lower the bet sizes. I've done that by lowering the 4 and 5% plays, keeping it to 3% plays, so that you guys can afford to take as many positions as I'm sharing. Yes, any advice on UFC? I will go through the entire card, Mike, top to bottom. I'll tell you what all the sharp shit is and my leans and what I gave out my subscribers, and you guys can use what you like. I'm going to give you, in fact, my entire card. Let me just go through these. What would I do with Ravens -3.5? Got it from Ralph as a 4%. What are the Ravens -3.5? Where's Baltimore? Baltimore's -5.5 now. 5. Yeah, if you could get 3.5 -105, yeah, lay 3.5 -105. Hell yeah. And if your guy's charging you like 20 cents for half points on 3, always do that as well too. Even up to 25 cents on 3 if you could do it. But yeah, That's what I would do right now. Shit, give me Ravens minus 3.5, minus 105. That's what I would bet. Yeah, pretty much. But again, it's 5.5 right now. Yes, JB, the UFC card. Okay. Let me give you my card real quick. Here's what I gave out. Here's what we are on baseball. You ready for baseball? Saturday's baseball. Let me pull up my card. Okay. Saturday's baseball. I gave out 9-16 Houston Astros minus 163. Let me see what the number is right now for you guys. Houston. Yeah, there's 162 at Bet Online, 165 at Circa, 170 at DraftKings. Yeah, 170 is good. If you can get 170 or better, it's warrants a 4% play on Houston. It's a good ERA trend, and a lot of things line up with the Astros. Let me give you next. Seattle, 918 Seattle minus 150. Where are they at right now? Are they still available? Yeah, they're still available. Bet Online has 150. Wow, MGM's up to 160. That's good. That's a good sign. Penny's at 152. Okay. Yeah, I'd look for 155 or better if you agree with the Seattle play. I wouldn't lay more than 155 from what I've seen at the market. And then under 7.5 Yankees, Miami. That was late. I liked under 8, and I was actually going to sit off that. But then when one of the baseball groups I work with that has done well historically with totals was willing to take 7.5, that's when I was like, yeah, I'll even lay, because it was like at even and at minus 105. I was like, I'll lay 110 up to 115 even on it, probably even 120 I would have laid just because they were willing to go under the 7.5 when it opened at 8 at Penny. Now, most books opened at 7.5, but the fact that a few books did open 8 and these guys have access to those 8s, which I'm sure they hit, and that's why the rest of us got 7.5. But the fact they came back and took the 7.5 as well, win or lose, I think it was a good plus EV spot at that number. NFL preseason, as you know, Buffalo, I bought the half point up to 4. And throughout the season, I'll let you know when we buy and why. And I'll give you all the teasers as well. What are the plus EV teasers for each Sunday based on what the lines are when we enter the chat and before we log off, because lines will move, and I'll let you know these are plus EV teasers, plus EV teasers, plus EV teasers. We're on Buffalo plus 4 minus 120. We're on the Jets at a pick 'em. Listen, when you try to get out ahead of the market like we do, sometimes you're going to miss because other groups are going to come in on the other side, or even later information changes, a player gets pulled. So again, if you could get ahead of the market 5 out of 10 times, you're doing great. If you're getting ahead of the market 7 out of 10 times, you're crushing it. And I think we're probably even above that. Like the market don't go against us more than 3 out of 10 times. 3 out of 10 bets, no chance I would be that high. But this is one of those spots where if you haven't gotten down, listen, I can tell you that the Carolina did attract sharp money, but not at -3. That's what you got to remember. At -1 is because what happened was, remember where this line opened was Jets -1, right? Then it went to on the other side where they went to like -1.5, -2.5. We took the Jets early. So it's gone back and forth, which tells me there's two-way sharp action, obviously. But I like the dog side. You know, that's the side. And obviously, I already had the ticket. It's not like I could get off it now. But like I said, the truth is, I really would add another 1% if this was a regular season. But there's no chance I would do that now in preseason unless it, you know, it was warranted based on information, which this is just isn't the case. So, oh yeah, and the final one, under in the Chargers Rams, the late game tonight, we went under 33.5. I think it's good 33. Excuse me. I think you're fine if you can't get 33, but I wouldn't if your guy's got 32.5, let it go. There's no reason to fuck with it. Why? There'll be a better, like, you're not getting the best of it. Always try to bet from a position of strength. And when you're willing to bet a worse number that's even you see available on the screen, then you have to be honest with yourself and admit you're betting from a position of weakness. Like if my bookie has 32.5 and I want to bet under, but I look at the screen and there's at least 2 other books that are on screen books, which tells you they're the big books, are serving up 33.5, I can't place that bet. That's a terrible bet. Like, you are really betting from a position of weakness. You're willing to take the worst of it. Whether it's sharp or not becomes irrelevant. The fact is there's 33.5s out there and you're willing to go under 32.5. That's not a recipe for profit. Like, that's a recipe for disaster. That's not what a winning sports bettor does. You need to make sure every action you take reflects an action a winning sports bettor would take. That's how you keep yourself honest. Like, would a winning sports bettor take under 32.5 when 33.5 were available? Like, would a winning sports bettor bet this much? Of course not. Would he bet 5% on a play? Of course not. Unless it was, he knew the fix was in. You know what I mean? There's no winning professional bettors going to bet 5% of their bankroll on a freaking single play. Dude, he put it on a stock that moves maybe 1% to 5% in a day, 10%. But you're gonna put it on a game where you're either zero sum, you either lose the whole bet or win the whole bet. Dude, come on, please. Let's stay away from the nonsense. Now let me share with you the rest of the MLB that's sharp, because like I told you, I move a bunch of stuff and I share a bunch of information with different winning groups. And here's other baseball that I moved for them. 923 Minnesota, 904 Pittsburgh. Is that 904 Pittsburgh? Yeah, whatever. I can't see the bet number on Tampa Bay. 932 San Francisco, 916 under LA Houston at 9.5, and 907 San Diego. Again, I take a percentage of accounts, so obviously I'd like to see these guys win, but it's not stuff that I felt comfortable having you guys take, especially after some of these lines move. And that's my job. That's the art I've gotten very good at, that I believe I perfected in understanding what sharp plays still have EV. I kind of compare it to the cigar butts that Warren Buffett talked about. When he said when he first started, his biggest successes were finding those cigar butts. That cigar butt that still had 1, 2, 3 drags left in it, that everyone was overlooking because there was little left. And you see, sometimes we'll bet it after it moves a little bit. I'm fine, but I have to confirm that there's still EV left. Sometimes there's not. Like, listen, it's gone. And now we're gambling. Now we're rolling the dice. At minus 110, we're not break even. And we're gambling. But if I send it out, believe me, I feel that confident about it. Now let's do some MMA real quick as well. Let me give you that real fast. Tell you what I have. If you like, if anything, actually, let me even pull that up. It'll be easier if I just share my screen. Oh, first, let me see. Do we have any steam that's coming? Anything we could bet? Any actionable shit? No. Okay, yeah, nothing. Perfect. We're good. We're golden. Now let's get to the MMA. Oh, I think we may have a play. Give me a second, guys. Oh my God. Fuck me. See, this is the kind of shit that ends up costing you. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. Holy shit. It's the under on fucking Amarim. That's why it didn't fucking move. Oh my God. Seriously? Jesus. Oh my God. I got 4 dimes on her now. I got to get off. Give me a second, guys. I got to get off this. Let me buy off this shit. Oh God. Yeah, I'd rather pay even a little vig to get off this shit. Hold on, boys. Yeah, see, good thing we're getting these practice sessions in before football. I got to get these in. Can't be fucking up during football. $4,000 or $5,000 mistakes. And more importantly, now this Amarim total fucking moved on me. So I'm going to have to give them a good number and eat the juice myself. That's the price you pay. You want to fuck with accounts, get in this business. Sometimes you're going to have to take the worst of it if you fuck up. But I will never let my guys eat it. I'll eat it before I make them eat it. So let's do it. Fuck it. Let me see what the number is, what it was. Okay, so they definitely got it 140, 150 compared to what it is right now. Let me just make sure that they want me to take that on this. That still, I admitted I fucked up, and I took the Amarim side instead. And he's like, we can just ride her out. Now hold on. Love these guys. Again, it's the business we play. It's Amarim, the Amarim ride. Fortunately, they like the side as well. Fortunately, it's not like the sharp side's the dog, or else I'd be worried now. Because then I'd be saying, oh shit, now I'm not going to be able to buy off it for cheap juice. Oh, wow. He said, no, keep Amarim, not the under. Oh, he's saying he could. Oh, wow. Okay. He wants to keep Amarim. Saying he's going to bet it anyway. Okay. No reason to pay back juice. All right. I'll take it. Sorry, guys. Two seconds. This will be worth it. Yeah, we're finding out right now. That's the price you pay wanting to move. It's so many times when I was a runner, oh my God, and my heart would stop because it would be like, it would come over like on the beeper, and you'd look at it and want to rush because you got to beat the line. Like there's 20 other runners that are trying to beat you to it as well. And sometimes I'd fuck up and I'd be like, oh my God, what do I do? Sometimes if I had the money to buy off it, sometimes you got, back then is like roll the dice. Okay. Confirmed. We're going to keep Amarim. We're going to keep Amarim. All right. But you know, the under's definitely sharp. Definitely sharp. See, my guys are that smooth. That good. See, we worked that well together. I want to thank you. Thank you for that. He said we're going to ride it out together. Jets, see now another smooth. Jets +3. Jets +3. So, dude, you got that 3.5. You could get that to 4. Whoo, you're getting the best. You're getting a crusher number to me. I'd go 4%. I really would. Now that this guy just asked me to get him some Jets at 3, yeah, if he's willing to take Jets at 3, if you got that 4 sitting there, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Okay, Amarim it is. Amarim it is. All right. Put a little under 2, but we'll see what's going on. All right, let me get back to what we were at. Yeah. All right, Pete. I love it. Yeah, I don't know what fucking Amarim is. It's MMA. It's UFC. It's UFC. I love you guys. That, dude, it happens to me a lot, Pete. Happens so many times. They'll send it. Sometimes it's even an MMA name, and that's I'm MMA, but it's like it's a LFA or a PFL undercard name, and I haven't like done that card yet. You know what I mean? It's 2 weeks in advance, and these guys are looking to bet an LFA play, and it's a name of a debut guy, and I never ever heard of it. And I have to text back like, what sport? And I'm so embarrassed. He's like, this is what you're supposed to do, and you don't even know what freaking sport. I'm not saying you, brother, because I've just been yelling Amarim. What the fuck does that even mean? Could be code for something. But she's fighting Ruiz. Jacqueline Amarim versus Montserrat Ruiz. She's that Conejo, the rabbit. Women's MMA at UFC card. I laid 240, 245, and I, like you saw, 240 to 250, but they wanted the under. And I didn't see it. I was rushing, just saw the, and again, this shit happens. But fortunately, Pete, the source of that pick said, no, I'm comfortable with the Amarim side. Since you bet it, I don't want you to have to eat that much vig. I'm comfortable with the position. So, all right. I like that. That means I let my side ride as well. That's a lot of chalk, but what am I going to do? I got to ride with the crew, with the team. I'm not going to get off of my side and save my money. No. We ride and die, baby, together. All right. Thank you, Pete. You got that. Lucindo by sub 1400. He's off to me this fight. Significant ground time. Yeah, I like the Lucindo side. I really do. I don't like that I saw some resistance. She should be up to 220 right now. That's the only thing that bothers me, that she dropped below 200. Like I'm a chartist. I chart prices. I'm very good at determining support and resistance, especially in sports betting. Done it a very long time. And the fact that this cracked its support on the Lucindo side worries me a little bit because it's a 4% play. Listen, I'm honest with you guys. I keep it real. I much am more comfortable with the Dawkins side, which is down to plus 149 at Pinnacle. That's what I want to see happen. That even though I know Roundtree's getting money, they still have to keep the line low because they know the buy order from betting syndicates, the long-term winners, are on Dawkins at 160 and higher. So that's why they're forced to keep it where it is and book Roundtree money a little bit cheaper than they wanted to. And what else was the other 4% play? I know we had one more. Let me get that for you. An MMA. Oh, I'll just read off all our MMA plays for you. I didn't do that. Here we go. Nchukwu, that was it. Nchukwu, Tafon Nchukwu at minus 140 at 4% play. That's another one. Let me see where the line is around the same price. Some play it's on Bet Online. It dropped to 130. I can tell you there has been resistance. There's a sharp group that disagrees with me. That's on the Dobson side. That's why that line hasn't gone up. Again, I'm 100% open with you guys. I want to share everything so that you're able to make the most informed decisions for yourself. So I'm on Nchukwi, minus 140 at 4% play, which is a big bet for me. It's 1% of Bankroll, it's 4% on it. So obviously that's a lot. Lucinda's chalky. But again, I place my bets when I place them. And after that, there's nothing I can do except buy off it and pay juice. But I see no reason to do that. I'm also on Dos Anjos at minus 115. I think you're good there up to 125. He opened 155. So you'd still be beating the open at 125, which again is always a good thing. Not a bad thing, but the fact that it was down to minus 110, you're paying a little more than you would have earlier. And Parisian, I probably should have made a 2% play just because of how bad he's looked. But I just could not overlook the recency bias on the Boudet side. Yes, it's a fight. Boudet should win. But here's another line move that isn't doing what it should for the Boudet side. And what I mean is when you look at the records, guy coming in, winning versus a guy coming in, losing. And then when you look at the Parisian side, his record, his opposition, the Boudet money should be coming in, especially since I even saw some sharps that like that side. And here's what happened. Opened 198, did go as high as 216, but since then it's been dropping. It's under minus 200 at Pinnacle. It's 185 at Circa, 192 bet online. Like, that is not a good sign for Boudet backers. If I was a Boudet backer, I would not be happy with. Again, he could go out there and win in the first 5 seconds. But if I had to bet on Boudet, that's not what I'd want to see. I do like that Nchukwi just got hit at Circa because they were at 135. They were the cheapest on the board next to bet online. So I like that. A board cleaner just laid the 135. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. That just tells you that's where the support is. Nchukwi at minus 135 has support, but for some reason at bet online, they have an opinion. They like the Dobson side. That's what that tells me because they're off market. Anytime a book is off market, they either have a ton of one-sided action, which unless it's sharp, they're usually not gonna adjust because they're getting 11 to 10. They could take a risk. Like we can't. They could risk a little bit more because at 50-50, they turn a profit. 50-50, we lose. Or if they have an opinion. And I know that the book at Bet Online is extremely sharp gentleman. He has an opinion, a respected opinion. So I don't like seeing that, but I do like seeing the board cleaners picking up the minus 135. They just did it at Circa. And then I have a couple totals. Let me share those as well, which I do like. Under Bulgarian Marshall, under 2.5, minus 160. Blackshear Johnson, under 2.5, minus 145. Blackshear inside I haven't bet Blackshear inside the distance at plus money. I think is a great bet because Blackshear's sharp. Blackshear's a sharp play. I moved on it for a very sharp source for minus 200. Another guy hit me at minus 240. That's very sharp. It's now sitting at minus 260, 270. Very close to, again, I don't like, even if it's a 3% play for me, betting 3 dimes at minus 270 is a lot when you see it's like 8,000 to win 2 is no, not like that, but you know what I mean. It's not attractive seeing 6,000 to win 2, but you can't approach it that way. You have to compare the betting line to the true implied win probability. And if it should be minus 400, but it's only minus 270, I gotta suck it up and fucking lay it. That's the discipline. That's the job. So we'll see how it unfolds. And again, I nothing to rush because of where it's stabilized. once I see a line stabilize, I'm in no rush. I know we could easily get 260s out there, 265, like it's not going to 300s because I already saw some resistance, which is natural when it moves up from minus 195, minus 200. You're going to see some resistance because the scalp's open. And you get enough money down on side A, you're going to scalp side B. That's just common practice. Again, you're going to learn. Just keep coming to the chats. You will learn so much as time passes. Your knowledge and education will get so much further in advance, and that shit nobody could take from you. Once you learn it, baby, you've learned it. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, and the under in Swanson Dawadu at even money. Swanson Dawadu under 2.5 was another bet that we placed. And now here's some other sharp stuff that I saw. I gave you Blackshear. What else did I see? Where was that? Okay, see now you're seeing Boudet get hit at Pinnacle. That's what should happen. That's what should happen. But it's not lighting up the rest of the screen, so it looks like they just got hit. Santos, I can tell you, Santos, sharp sides on Santos. Also Santos, I know inside the distance attracted some sharp money too. I know it's heavily over favored to go over, but let's not forget the over 2.5 opened minus 275. It's now minus 195 at circa. So definitely steam on the under. Obviously a 2-to-1 towards the over. That's probably what's going to happen more likely, but still you're seeing that steam on the under. Tells me that Santos inside the distance prop that I know got hit by sharp bettors because I see the back end. They got a shot, man. That's live. Well, McGee buys nothing. Marshall Dolgarian nothing. Frem Pickett. I wanted to bet Pickett. You know why? Only because I had him circled off of his last fight. I mean, listen, when you fight Bo Nickel and he goes through you like that, and you're coming in with 3 straight losses, you're probably going to be undervalued in the betting market. Doesn't mean you're going to win at all. Doesn't mean that. But more times than not, it does mean you're going to be undervalued in the betting market. And as a bettor, that's all I can hope for, getting the best of it. I can't worry about are they going to win or not. Dude, I can't control that part. Again, the job's to place good bets. That's the job. It's not to predict outcomes. You got to start to grasp that concept. Your job isn't picking the winner. Your job is placing good bets. Guys that pick winners don't make money betting sports. They make money giving predictions on or analysis on television. And wise guys make a lot more than them. That much I promise you. But that's what guys that predict outcomes do. They do pick videos, or they get lucky and get on a TV, a TV show or ESPN show where they're giving picks. That's not what we do for profit. It's not what sports bettors do. We place good bets. That's all we look to do. And you place enough of them, long term, you're going to turn a profit. You place bad bets, regardless of the short term, long term, you're going to lose money. And the reason I thought that with Pickett, but I didn't like the way the line moved. I don't like that it opened 260, 270, went up to 300, 350 at Pinnacle without any resistance. Along the line, there should have been resistance. If he was live, if he was really undervalued, if the market was overreacting, if the recency bias was heavy, the market would reflect that. The fact it's not tells me this is one of those instances where even though the perfect storm is there, the price doesn't reflect giving him the best of it. I love being able to see that in the market. Otherwise, these are spots where I'd be like, oh, that's worth a 2% play on a live dog, but it's not. Even if Pickett goes out there and wins, I wouldn't regret now because the line move confirms everything I need to know. The chart tells me everything I need to know on whether I'd be placing a good bet. And right now, in the last 10 seconds, it just got confirmed to me it would be a horrific bet because there's been no resistance the entire way up from 253 to 347. That's not good. That's not a good sign for the underdog. And again, I can't predict what's going to happen. All I could do is place the good bets. Oh, hold on. Just got another text. I may be able to share something. Oh, okay. You're probably going to see I know it's real chalky, but if you look at your screen over the next hour, don't be surprised if the minus 330 and 340s on Marcus McGee are no longer there, are no longer available. Don't be surprised if that's the case. I got a feeling there's going to be some money coming in on the McGee side. Again, he's not a guy that gives me much confidence, which I'm not going to send it to you. Obviously, I won't send it to you guys as a premium play, but I am sharing with you there are multiple sharp groups that are very standby on the ready to bet McGee. If the screen lights up, then you know they did it. Right now, I know that the bullet's in the chamber and it's cocked. We'll know from the market whether they fire or not. That's the best predictor. Let me see if there's any more questions. Then we can wrap up because there's going to be some UFC starting in 30 minutes. We have the afternoon baseball and obviously some evening baseball. I work throughout. Oh, Isaac. Yeah, we just got, hold on. Here comes MMA play. All right. 3% play. I'm sending it right now. You guys are getting it before it comes out. You ready? We're going to bet Isaac Dolgarian. Isaac Dolgarian. Minus 150s are available. We will bet lay minus 145 is a bet. Wait, where is he? Okay, Dolgarian. Oh, plus 150 is available. I'll send it out at plus 145. You guys get an even better number. Get 150. I'm telling you, get 150. 3% play on Dolgarian. That doesn't mean 3%, right? What does it mean? 0.75. 0.75. Isaac Dolgarian. All right, let me see what I get. Watch how 145. Look, I'm going to send it to you guys before I even bet it. That's what I do more times than not. You know that? That's how badly I want you guys to fucking win. I swear. I worry more about you guys winning than myself. I know I've done it long enough now. I know how the story ends. It's like the mystery's over for me. I don't mean like to be cocky or anything because you got to stay on top of it. But I know I work hard. I work 7 days a week. I don't take off. And I know I have my edge. I bet I trade the same exact way. I've been doing it the same exact way for so long. Like I know how this story ends every fucking year. Last December 31st was the only shocker when I fucking got killed the last 2 months. Otherwise, you know, up, down, that's so temporary. That's so temporary. And since I don't use sports betting money to pay bills or anything like that, yeah, it's just investment. The investment I know is going to go a little choppy here or there. Let me bet this too. Oh no, don't use Vegas Insider. Honestly, I'm not talking shit. Use Wager Talks lines and wait till you see what they're coming out with. Their next iteration of live lines. Yeah, you guys are in for a treat. You're in for a treat. They're working on that as we speak. I'm sure it's going to be unveiled soon. Actually, I've been beta testing it, dude. It's I was paying $500 a month for that. probably a few years ago, for what they're actually going to put out there for free. I can't wait till it's done. But the one that right now is good. It shows all the line moves. The delay is like nothing. And again, I'm just telling you the truth. If you want to pay for a service, if you're not willing to pay for line service, you're not going to find better than what they have right there. It's Rick from Sports Options. He created Sports Options, the line service. He's the guy that created the wager talk. That's why you don't have a Sports Options anymore. He's here with us. So yeah, that's what you're getting. You're getting top of the line moves. I'm just being honest. That's what I would be using if I, wasn't going to pay for to the second line move. Sorry guys, I got to bet this. Like I said, I gave it to you guys before I even put it out. See, I'm ending up getting 143 at one book. God damn, I'm not going to give it to him. I'll give it to the 145s at the worst. Fuck you. You ain't getting one. No, that's not how it's going to go down. It's not how it's going to go. You ain't giving me 143. You're giving me one. There's a 150. There we go. I knew it. I saw number 150s on the screen. Hold on. Come on, Bulgarian. All right. Boom. All right. I accidentally, oh my God. You guys saw, good thing I didn't put on screen that time. You guys would die laughing. I tried to bet a crazy amount by accident, in City, too much. All right. Whew, okay, that went through. I'm sure let me look, you guys got it. I'm sure you guys got it. Bulgarian it is, okay. Make sure everybody got it. This is the part that slows me down, But we're gold. All right, anything else? Come in. See, you never, during football, wait do you see? Things are going to be coming nonstop. So you're going to have to get used to me working and even talking to myself and talking you guys through things. Did I take under 2.5 in Amarim? Yes, I did. I laid 160 though. I laid a little worse than they did. So I just limited my bet size. You know what I mean? Like knowing that they got in at 150, if that was going to be a 3% play for me, I would make it a 2% play. But again, this is from a source that I work with, close friends, and also has his own people he subs. So I'm not going to release it as a premium. That wouldn't be right. I could do the Amarim because now that wasn't his. You know what I mean? That wasn't a play from them. But I wouldn't do that to you guys just because I'm rolling the dice with her because of the price. I'm not sending it out. But yes, I am on the under 2.5 in that fight. Okay. So gonna wait 2 more minutes. If there's any more questions, we've been 90 minutes, not bad. Oh, what happened last December, James? No, I lost. I'll tell you. What happened was I put most of my time into trading equities and less time in the sports, and also took the education, like hands-on education, that cost me a lot of money from a high value master trader. And I saw what happened when that's what you do. You can't lose focus for a freaking minute, whether you have sharp information or not. And that's just what happened. A bad last month where I mismanaged risk, obviously, and I got stung like anyone else. And that's just being truthful. But what I learned to correct rather than repeat, and that's how this came out. And that's why this week I was happy when I saw almost no signups and I didn't have to push any sales. Like, this shows me that I'm doing it the right way, because the guys that are teaming up with me, partnerships, they're not the guys looking for daily picks. They're not looking for that big play, that big bet. They're signing up for the long haul. But the guys that jump in because they see when I'm hot, or because Wager Talk sends out he's up this much, I worry. Those signups get me nervous, because I don't know if our goals are aligned. And if our goals aren't aligned, I'm probably going to disappoint you. I only have one goal. The only reason I do this is to turn a profit on my capital at the end of the year. That's it. That from January 1st to December 31st, this investment gives me a return greater than if I put that capital in this, or this. That's just why I do it. Otherwise, I would not bet sports. For what? I'm fortunately I'm comfortable now and have investments that I do this because the return on investment's so great. I can't walk away from it. I feel so stupid. Like I put 30 years, and now that I'm at my highest level and my most efficient, I can't walk away. I swear to God, like I don't want to sell picks. I don't enjoy doing it. I really don't. You see, I don't like, I do content because I want to share my knowledge and experiences with people. But I don't like selling picks. You see very little promoting I do. I don't create packages. I don't enjoy that side of it. But I do it because I know how good I am at being profitable. Please, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I've gotten to a point where I know now that not only could I win for myself, which is very, very hard, but I could win for other people. And to walk away now when I have that ability, I'd feel so stupid. That just wouldn't make sense. And to walk away from betting now that my edge, I know what it is. I know what my ROI is year in, year out. I know what I could expect to make. Again, I don't go in deterministic, but I have my average. I have now almost a decade I've been winning. I have an average of what I expect, and sometimes I reach it, sometimes above, sometimes below. But with that said, that's why I do it. And I want to work with guys that are at that level, that's what they want. Otherwise, it's okay. Like, dude, have fun with it. If that's what you want to do, you want to put in a Monday night game, enjoy it with your friends, go out, that's cool. That's cool. I'm doing it for the guys that actually want to invest capital and get a return on that capital, not the guys that want to gamble and hopefully this guy wins for me. Yeah, no, I'm not into that, man. So again, let me scroll through. Yes, I took the 2.5. I took the under. I promise. I took the under 2.5. I did. I'm like, I was ready to go put a dime on screen for you guys in front of you. I'll put another 1,000 just so you know I do have money on it, but there's no reason. You guys believe me. Okay. I think we may be good. I think we may be able to go watch some UFC. Hopefully these fights go our way, right? We have plenty of risk spread out. All right. Honestly, it's been a tough, like I said, I was so excited to do this week's chat, not because I had to face and be accountable for the terrible results over the last 30 days, but because we're at a point that it happened before football, and it's a great opportunity for those of you that aren't cut out for this to not hurt yourselves, to not, you know what I mean? To just be like, yeah, maybe it isn't. But for those that survived it and did it the right way, to have that optimism. Like I was so excited to come in and just keep it real. So thank you for your time. And all that information, all that live actionable stuff, I hope it wins today. I gave you all the MMA, right? I gave you all the baseball. I gave you all the football. I think I have some, let me see any future football too for tomorrow. Let me give you that because I know I have some stuff. So let me be cool. Also, week 1, you know, we bet New England +5 in week 1 of the NFL. That's Sunday, September 10th. See, I look to place good bets. That's it. There's a good bet in September 10th. I'm putting my money down. I don't care that it's a month from now. It's a 4%. So that's 1% of Bankroll. That's it. Place good bets. Place good bets. What's going to happen is going to happen. Saturday the 2nd, college football. I gave out North Carolina -2.5, Toledo +10, South Alabama -7.5. All 3% plays. Friday, September 1st, Central Michigan +15 and Hawaii +8.5 versus Stanford. And then Thursday, the 31st of August, Nebraska +7 and under 48.5, Florida, Utah. Those two are 4% plays. Friday, August 26th, I have Ohio +3.5, 4% play. And is tomorrow the 13th? Yes, tomorrow's the 13th. I have two 3% plays. I have the New Orleans Saints -3, and I have the over 37.5 in the Saints game. Other sharp stuff that I know is out there. Let me see what I could give you. I know I had some other stuff. Hold on. I have so much freaking shit here. And I can't even find it. Oh, here it is. All right. We have, let me pull that up. Week 1 NFL. Week 1 NFL. I already gave you New England at 5. Oh, wow. There's still 5s available. Good. Under 41. San Fran and Pittsburgh, game 465, under 41, game 465. And where, there was one more. Where were you? Oh, no. That was the injury. Cleveland, remember, Cleveland was a dog to Cincinnati, and because Burrow got injured, so that was an injury move. Okay, I knew there were 2, but that was just an injury move. Yeah, I think you guys are covered. I think you're covered. Use the information as you see fit. Bet good numbers. Only piggyback what you agree with. Exercise patience. Think long term. When in doubt, zoom out. Remember, as terrible as this last 30 days have been, since January 1st, 2023, we've increased bankroll by 50% if you manage risk the way I've urged, which is never betting more than 1.25%. And you're still up 50% on your initial capital by never betting more than 1.25% per play. That's the discipline, but also the patience that it's going to take to win long term. Love you guys. Best of luck this week. Best of luck next week. And cash them, don't trash them. Thanks again for spending some time today. Enjoy the rest of your week.